No one is coming to save you, not society, not your friends, not even the woman you love. This is the truth that breaks weak men but builds strong ones. Welcome, brothers, to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where men are forged in wisdom, discipline, and unshakable strength. Today we face a hard truth that many try to avoid. Life will not hand you a rescue rope. The world will watch you struggle. People will let you fall, and even love, the very thing you thought would hold you together, may abandon you when you need it most. But this is not a curse. This is the gift every man must embrace, because only when you stop waiting for someone to save you do you finally awaken the power to save yourself. In this video, we're going to go deep into both life and love. We'll explore why no one is coming to carry your burdens, why self-reliance is the core of masculine strength, and how this truth transforms not just your future, but your relationships. By the end, you'll understand why the man who becomes his own savior never fears betrayal, never fears loneliness, and never fears defeat, because he has built himself into a fortress no storm can destroy. So if you're ready to rise above weakness, if you're ready to claim your strength and purpose as a man, then stay with me until the end. And before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Stoic Golden Tribe, and share this message with a brother who needs it. Because the world needs more men who refuse to be saved, men who save themselves. Chapter 1. The hard truth. No one is coming. Stop waiting for someone to save you. No one is coming. This is a truth most men spend their lives trying to avoid. From childhood, we are conditioned to believe that help will always be there. Parents protect us, teachers guide us, friends stand by us. But as the years pass, the world strips away these illusions one by one. You wake up as a man and realize no one is truly responsible for your life except you. When you stumble, people may sympathize, but they won't carry your burden. When you fail, they may shake their heads, but they won't rebuild what you lost. And when your heart is broken, when the woman you thought would never leave suddenly turns her back, the cold silence will remind you, rescue is not coming. This realization is brutal. Many men collapse under it. They drown themselves in distractions, alcohol, meaningless pleasures, endless entertainment, because the weight of self-responsibility feels unbearable. They crave a savior, a woman to heal them, a mentor to lead them, a system to lift them. But here's the truth. History teaches us the greatest men who ever lived did not wait for rescue. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king of Rome, surrounded by war, plague, and betrayal. Even his closest generals plotting against him, he never cried for salvation. Instead, he wrote in his private meditations, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." Be one, he understood that no army, no woman, no friend could make him strong. He had to forge his own strength in solitude. Or look at Epictetus, born a slave. Shackled, beaten, denied freedom, he could have begged for pity. But he chose a different path. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." His chains were not broken by another's mercy. They were broken by the strength of his mind, by his refusal to be enslaved by weakness. Even in love, the lesson is the same. Many men today make the mistake of thinking a woman will save them, that she will be their anchor, their healer, their reason for living. But what happens when she leaves, when she tests your strength and finds you wanting? A man who has not built himself will collapse. He will beg, he will chase, he will lose himself entirely. Brother, understand this. Relying on anyone to rescue you, whether it's a woman, a friend, or even society, is the surest path to weakness. Because once you hand over the responsibility for your life, you give away your power. The Stoics knew that storms were inevitable. They did not pray for calm seas. They prepared themselves to endure the waves. And that is what you must do. Accept this truth. The world owes you nothing. No one is required to love you. No one is required to support you. No one is required to stand by your side. This is not a tragedy, it is freedom. Because the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you, you awaken to the reality that you are enough. You are the rescuer. You are the builder. You are the savior you've been waiting for. This realization is the beginning of true masculinity. It is where the boy dies and the man is born. The boy waits for help. The man creates it. The boy begs for love. The man commands respect. The boy fears being alone. The man uses solitude to build an empire within himself. So, let me ask you, honestly, deep within your soul, are you still waiting for someone to save you? Do you secretly hope that one day life will just become easier? That one day the perfect woman will appear and heal your wounds? That one day a mentor will show up and hand you purpose? That one day society will finally give you recognition? If so, you are still living as a boy, not a man, and the longer you wait, the weaker you become. Instead, embrace the storm, face the silence, accept the loneliness, because it is in these harsh moments that the truth reveals itself. You were born alone, and you will die alone, and what you build in between is entirely your responsibility. History remembers the men who stood without saviors. Leonidas at Thermopylae, Marcus Aurelius on the battlefield, Epictetus in chains. Men who looked at the chaos of life and said, "I will not wait for rescue. I will become my own strength, and so must you." Comment below. Do you believe most men today are still waiting to be saved by women, by society, or by luck? Or do you think men are waking up to the truth of self-reliance? Share your thoughts below. Chapter 2, Building Inner Strength. If Chapter 1 gave you the truth that no one is coming to save you, then Chapter 2 gives you the response. You must build yourself into the kind of man who does not need saving. Strength is not given, it is built, and it is built in silence, in discipline, in the battles no one sees. Look around you today. Many men want power, but they do not want the work. They want respect, but they refuse the discipline. They want love, but they offer no foundation for it to stand upon. This is why they collapse, because when the storm comes, and it always does, they have no roots. So how does a man build his strength? The first law is discipline over motivation. Motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes. It changes with mood, with weather, with circumstance. Discipline is the anchor. A man who trains his body, his mind, and his habits every day does not wait for inspiration. He acts because it is his nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for?" This is how you must think. You were not born to waste your life scrolling endlessly, to numb yourself with cheap pleasures, to let your potential rot away. You were born to rise, and every day you waste is a day of your strength slipping through your hands. Build your strength in 3 pillars. 1. Your body. A weak body carries a weak spirit. Train daily, not for vanity, but for resilience. A man who cannot command his body cannot command his destiny. 2. Your mind. Read, learn, sharpen your thoughts. The world is full of noise. Wisdom is your shield. A man who cannot master his thoughts will be a slave to his emotions. 3. Your purpose. Decide what you stand for. What work, what mission, what craft will you dedicate yourself to? A man without purpose is like a ship without sails, easily tossed by any wave. Now understand this clearly. When you build these 3, you stop needing others to hold you up. You stop needing a woman to complete you. You stop expecting society to hand you respect. You stop waiting for opportunity. You create it. Discipline is freedom. Because when you no longer depend on chance, on mood, or on people, you own yourself completely. But there's a hidden truth here, brother. Discipline is not glamorous. It is not exciting. No one claps for you when you wake up early. No one cheers when you reject temptation. No one notices when you read late into the night, when you save money instead of wasting it, when you train your body while others are sleeping. Yet this is where strength is born, in the silence, in the unseen. And when the storm finally comes, the world will suddenly notice that you do not fall. They will ask, "How are you still standing?" And your answer will be simple: because I built myself when no one was watching. This is why the Stoics said that the true measure of a man is not what he shows in public, but what he does in private. The man who is disciplined in secret becomes unshakable in the open. So let me ask you, are you truly building yourself, or are you still waiting for a savior to push you forward? Are you strengthening your body, your mind, and your purpose, or are you still distracting yourself, hoping life will somehow change on its own? Brother, remember this. Storms don't warn you before they strike. Life does not give notice. Love can vanish overnight. Respect can be lost in a single moment. If you have not built yourself, you will be crushed. But if you have built daily discipline, you will not just survive, you will rise stronger. So build every single day, because the world may not clap for you now, but one day it will have no choice but to respect the man you have become. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What discipline are you building today that your future self will thank you for? Chapter 3. Love, respect, and self-reliance in relationships. There is a hard truth most men learn too late. If you rely on a woman to save you, she will eventually lose respect for you. Love is powerful, but it is not meant to replace your foundation as a man. Many men make the mistake of placing a woman at the center of their lives, believing she will heal their wounds, give them purpose, and carry them through storms. But here's the reality: if you lean too heavily on her, she will feel the weight, and her admiration for you will fade. Women are drawn to strength, not weakness. They test men, often without realizing it, to see whether he stands on his own feet or whether he crumbles under pressure. When she sees that you do not need her to complete you, but instead you choose to walk beside her as a strong man, respect grows. But when she becomes your savior, when she becomes your reason for living, when you place her on a pedestal above your mission, the dynamic shifts. You stop being her man and become her burden, and burdens are eventually cast aside. History has shown this truth countless times. Kings have lost empires because they placed love above duty. Warriors have been destroyed because they made women their purpose rather than their mission. Even great leaders who conquered nations fell when they allowed passion to rule them instead of discipline. This is why Stoic philosophers warned men not to place happiness in things outside their control. A woman's feelings, her choices, even her love, these are not fully yours to command. What you can control is your own strength, your own standards, your own purpose. Now understand this clearly. This does not mean you should reject love or turn cold to relationships. On the contrary, a woman can be an incredible ally, a source of inspiration, and even a partner in building your legacy. But she cannot be the foundation. That foundation must be you. When you are self-reliant, when you have built your life around discipline and purpose, you no longer fear whether she stays or leaves. You do not chase her approval because your worth does not hang on her validation. Instead, you live from a place of abundance. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you know that your mission continues with or without her. Ironically, this is what creates the deepest respect and attraction. A man who does not need saving becomes a man a woman wants to stand beside. A man who can walk alone with strength becomes the kind of man others want to follow. So, brother, do not hand over your crown for the promise of love. Do not abandon your purpose for temporary affection, and do not wait for a woman to define your worth, your respect, your strength, your life. These must be built by you and only you. If she chooses to walk with you, let it be because she admires the man you already are, not because you expect her to fix the man you refuse to become. Remember this: a king who loses his throne for a woman was never truly a king, but a man who builds his throne on his own strength, his own purpose, and his own discipline. He will always be respected in life and in love. Drop a comment below. Do you think most men today rely too much on women for validation? Or are men beginning to realize the power of standing on their own feet? Chapter 4. Becoming your own savior. We began with the truth. no one is coming to save you. We walked through discipline, purpose, and even love. Now we arrive at the final step, the path of becoming your own savior. Understand this clearly. Life is not meant to be easy. Storms will come, betrayals will cut deep, and moments of silence will test your soul. But these are not punishments, they are invitations, challenges given to men so they can awaken the power buried within them. The question is not whether you will face hardship. The question is whether you will face it as a victim or as a warrior. So how does a man become his own savior? First, he embraces solitude. A man who fears being alone is a man who has not yet discovered himself. Spend time in silence. Sit with your thoughts, confront your fears, because when you are comfortable in solitude, you are unshakable in the crowd. Second, he builds skills. Every storm reveals the unprepared. If you cannot defend yourself, if you cannot earn, if you cannot think clearly, you will always depend on others. Learn, train, master your craft. Become the man who is capable, reliable, and strong, not just for yourself, but for those who may one day depend on you. Third, he sets standards. Do not accept every friendship, every woman, every opportunity that crosses your path. Weak men take whatever comes because they are afraid to lose. Strong men set standards. They know what they will tolerate and what they will never accept. When you live with standards, you stop begging for scraps and begin commanding respect. Fourth, he embraces suffering. The Stoics believed suffering was not an enemy, but a teacher. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. When life throws obstacles at you, see them as fire that forges steel. The storm does not break you, it shapes you. And finally, he refuses to wait. This is the essence of self-salvation. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to hand you the key to your life. The key has always been in your hands. The question is whether you are willing to turn it. Because here's the truth, brother. The day you stop waiting is the day you are reborn. The day you stop chasing rescue and begin building yourself is the day you become untouchable. You may lose friends, you may lose lovers, you may even lose battles, but you will never lose yourself, and that is the foundation of true strength. And here is the greatest paradox. When you no longer need saving, you become the kind of man others look to in times of crisis. When you no longer chase validation, respect begins to follow you. When you no longer fear walking alone, people naturally want to walk beside you. That is the reward of becoming your own savior. You transform from the one who waits into the one who leads. So stand tall, face the storm, accept the silence, and remind yourself every single day, no one is coming to save me because I was built to save myself. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What is one step you are taking right now to become your own savior? Brothers, we have come full circle, from the truth that no one is coming to save you to the discipline of building strength, to mastering love and respect, and finally to becoming your own savior. You now see the path clearly. Will not hand you shortcuts. Love will not carry your crown. Society will not bow down and lift you. And no man, no mentor, no woman, no system will ever hand you the life you dream of. That life, your strength, your respect, your purpose, must be taken by force. Not the force of violence, but the force of self-mastery. The man who rules himself rules his world. And this is where most men fail. They keep waiting for a savior, waiting for luck, waiting for the right moment. But waiting has never saved anyone. Action has, discipline has, courage has. So stop waiting, stop hoping, stop begging. Instead, rise, build your body, forge your mind, claim your purpose, set your standards, walk alone if you must. Because when you do, you'll discover that you never needed saving in the first place. You only needed to awaken the strength that was already inside you. Remember this truth: a man who saves himself becomes a man others will follow. He becomes the anchor in the storm, the rock in the chaos, the leader when all others are lost. This is your calling. This is your destiny. No one is coming to save you because you were born to save yourself. Brothers of the Stoic Golden Tribe, if this message spoke to your soul, then carry it with you, live it, share it, Let it remind you every time you feel weak or forgotten. And if you are ready to keep growing, keep sharpening, and keep rising as a man, then subscribe to the channel, join the brotherhood, and never miss a message that will build your strength. Drop a comment below and tell me what truth hit you the hardest today, because when you share your thoughts, you inspire another man who might be fighting his own silent battle. Like this video, share it with a brother who needs to hear it, and remember, you are stronger than you think, and the world is waiting for the man you are becoming. Stay strong, stay disciplined, stay unshakable. Until next time, welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe.